In this video, we are going to discuss about how to check if your configurations will be considered by Splunk. Meaning, let's say you have made the configurations in the backend or like in the configuration file. Did Splunk recognize your configuration? Did it reflect actually? So that how do we check that? So there are different tools you can use, like commands you can use. One of which is a BTool command. Like this is to check the configuration file precedence. Let's say you are keeping the props.conf in, like, now what we did is we kept it in like in a default and local folder both, right? Now let's understand. Wait one second. So now I'm going back. Yeah, where are we? So we are actually in the etc app search. In the previous video, what we did, we copy pasted the configuration. In the default we have same props.conf, in local also we have same props.conf. Now how do we know that local configurations is taking a precedence, right? So what basically we did, in the default props.conf, so for this particular source type, we made a configuration change. You see, cat local props.conf. Yeah, we made a change. Like we need to know whether this is reflecting. But now both are same. Okay, it is not going to give us the difference. Now let's make the change and see which one takes a precedence. Okay. Now I am going to make a change in local props.conf. Just changing this one to a browser. Okay, now I'm saving it. Now if I do cat local props.conf, you see now it has a browser. In local it has a browser, in default it has a browser name. Now our expectation is, 1 minute, we need to find out whether this local configurations are taking a precedence or not. So how do we do that? For that, let's use the btool command. How do you use that? Opt splunk bin splunk. Let me expand this a bit. Yeah, Splunk. And what is the syntax? BTool tool. And what is this configuration? It is a props. And we are going to say list, props list, and just hit enter. You see now what it is giving is, it is just giving all the big, like everything is like combined together. Here, like we can go ahead and we can find out our source type. It is a bit difficult, right? It is very much difficult to see this. So in this one, if you can add, if you can add extra hyphen hyphen debug, that will give you a path. Okay, list hyphen hyphen debug, this will give you list of path as well. Like let me make it bigger. Yeah, I'll execute one more time. You see here, now along with the configuration, it is also telling us from where this configuration is coming. Okay, but this is still high, very big, right? Like it is very big list, we need to filter out. But also we know, like in this path, wherever we have a search, so that is something we need, right? So what we can do is, when we are executing this command, at the end we can say hyphen, one second, let me clear it. Yeah, when we are executing this command, at the end we can say hyphen grep, we can say search. So it will give only search app related configurations. Okay, you see we have this particular source type, and this one, and this one, and Splunk web service. For Splunk web service, do you remember we had a browser, we just renamed it. So it is actually coming from local props.conf. For this particular source type, the configurations are coming from local props.conf. But for the Splunk D, you see it is coming from a default props.conf. So this is how you can use a btool command, command to list down the configurations which are coming from particular location, and we can understand. This is how we can see whatever the configuration we did, whether it is making a precedence or not, right? But now if I want to check only for this particular app without giving grep command, right, is there any way? Yes, there is a way. I can give hyphen hyphen app equal to search, I can give. So this will give only the properties coming from the search app. It will check only within the search app how the precedence is working. It doesn't care about the system configurations and all. It will only check inside this app which one is taking a priority. Only inside this app, right? So if you want to check inside the search app which one is taking a priority, then we can use this hyphen hyphen app command. That is also mentioned here in this documentation as well. Yeah, so BTool props list, the hyphen hyphen debug will give you the file path. And if you want to check specific app configuration, you can give hyphen hyphen app for that one. You can also like grep for your setting. And if there are any errors on this one, you can go ahead and you can check it in var files. Sorry, opt splunk etc var files. Right? Opt splunk, not etc, sorry, var log splunk splunk d.log. Okay, it's permission denied. Okay, maybe you need to switch it to a Splunk user. Yeah, okay, not as a Splunk user. I was just going to do cat. If you do cat, you will get lot of logs, right? In this one, you can see if there are any errors, you can already find out and you can understand. So if you want to filter only error, at the end you can say hyphen grep errors, and then it will give error if there is any error. There are no errors. So what we can do is then we can check if there is any inputs.conf error or props.conf error. Props, no, there are no errors. So so far maybe there is no error at all. If you have any configurations which is having an error, you can check it here. This will have an listed error listed here. Okay, and then yeah, and if you want to check it from the UI, there is a REST API as well. Like if you're not sure which one takes the precedence, right? You can also go and check it in the UI with this link. Now you can copy paste this link into your browser, and here you need to put your IP, whatever the IP. Let's say search head I need to check. I can copy that particular IP or domain name, whatever you have. I can paste it. Make sure you are not putting any additional characters. Yeah, if you execute it, see, now it is giving all the list of props actually. So let's for which props we were just actually doing web, let's say web. Yeah, Splunk web service. For this one, what was the feed? So this is actually search head. What we did was in the universal forwarder, but this URL it will give you, like, even you can do this one in the like your universal forwarder as well. But in the search head or indexer, if you want to see the props list, one thing is you need to have admin access for this. Okay, but here what it is giving is for this particular source type Splunk web service, what is the property and what is its value. If you scroll down, you see for extract user agent what value it has been given in the backend. So for all the properties, all the values, it will be displayed here. Okay, you can also use this particular URL to check that one. Okay, so this is how you can say check whatever the configuration you are given, it is reflecting or not, right? And then yeah, how to reload the configuration files after editing. Okay, so now what I did is I just edited in the backend, right? I just edited it here. Let me clear the screen. Yeah. So I just edited it in the local folder, but I did not do any restart or reload, right? First of all, we need to understand which are all the files require reload or restart. What is meant by reload? Reload is something without restarting your Splunk, you are doing some action which is refreshing all the Splunk configurations. Okay, that is what reload means. So let me zoom it a bit. Yeah, so search time processing settings does not require a reload because search time process settings using a different processor which is triggering the reload, right? And there are lookup tables, field extraction, knowledge objects, tags, event types. If you do create or if you do update these configuration, you don't need to restart the Splunk. You can just reload the Splunk. that should be fine. And files that contain search time operations like macros.conf, props.conf, transforms.conf, savedSSH.conf, these configurations does not require restart. You can just reload it. Okay. If you create any such, see in the savedSSH.conf, if you create any endpoint, for example, if you want to access it from the outside, there will be restmob.conf, different things. That time you need to restart the server. But mostly if you just update it, just reloading the endpoint is fine. How do you reload it? For all these configurations what we mentioned at the top, like this things, you can just do a debug refresh. Debug refresh can be done with admin access. So the similar way, you paste this URL in your web server, sorry, in your Chrome, and copy and paste this particular IP address in place of this. Yeah, now if you click hit, you see there will be a small button called refresh. You can click on a refresh. This will refresh all the configurations, whatever the configurations we have been discussing, right? Macros, props, transforms, saved searches, lookup tables, field extraction, everything gets refreshed. You see here, these are all the list of endpoints that got refreshed. You can see TCP out default, TCP out server, views, view stats. These are all the endpoints which gets restarted when you are doing a debug refresh. Okay. And along with that, any index time settings like search time settings, we saw these are all the settings, right? Any index time settings, even whatever you do to props and transforms.conf, you don't need to restart. It will be refresh. Reload is fine. Anything you do it for props and transforms, you can just reload the Splunk how we did it. The debug refresh should be fine. In indexer cluster, they will be automatically reloaded. In a non-indexer cluster, you are actually manually reloading it. Like we did a debug refresh, right? This is something you don't need to do it in an indexer cluster. Only in a standalone indexer, you need to do this one. In indexer cluster, when the cluster manager is pushing the configuration, it will reload it automatically. All the indexers gets reloaded automatically. And for the non-clustered index, or either cluster or non-cluster index, once you reload the configurations, it won't reflect immediately if there is a data flow continuously coming. In the universal forwarder, there will be automatic load balancing, right? When the universal forwarder is completing the auto LB time, then only the configurations will be affected. Like if the data flow is continuously coming, it won't affect the, it'll reflect the changes. When the data flow is cut off and restarting again, that time the data configurations will get reflected. Next one is how to reload files. This is especially for the inputs.conf. For transforms.conf, you can use these specific URLs like we did it for the debug refresh. For for the inputs.conf, where is it? Yeah. For the inputs.conf, you can use this particular command, which whenever you make any changes in the inputs.conf at the universal forwarder level or heavy forwarder level, use this with a caution, because anyways, like in a real-time environment for deployment server, you are going to use it. Deployment server will automatically refresh your configuration. But if you want to manually refresh it, then you can execute this command. I'm going to paste it. As this is a universal forwarder, I'm going to change it to universal forwarder. Yeah. Hit enter. So this will ask username and password. I'm going to give username and password. Okay, what does it say? Okay, call not properly authenticated. Okay, looks like I forgot the password. Let me try with the new password. Oh yeah, this is work. Yeah, so this is how it gets reloaded. Whenever you make any inputs.conf changes, you have to reload this one. But if you're creating a new inputs.conf, you need to restart the Splunk. But if the inputs.conf is already there, you just use this command to reload the changes. And like if you want to just reload that particular transforms lookups or transform extract, you can use this is also a debug refresh command only, but along with the particular parameters, URL parameters. So now if I use the same URL parameters here, it will just again ask the same refresh, but it will refresh only that particular endpoint. You see, it just refreshed only one endpoint without refreshing all the endpoints. Just giving only debug refresh will refresh all the endpoints. Endpoints nothing but a different process, right? Here you can give specifically, do you want to refresh that lookup, or you want to refresh only extract configurations. So this is how you can do it. And for authentication, like when you are implementing LDAP or SAML authentication, like you can go to the UI and you can manually click on reload authentication. For example, if you go to settings, authentication methods, you see reload authentication configuration. If you click on this one, it will be reloaded automatically. So this is for authentication related configurations. Next, how to check if your configuration is updated in the Splunk memory. So whatever we discussed at the top is whether it is after restarting, if it is coming or not. But here in the memory it is updated or not. For that, there is a tool called Splunk show config, which can help you to check the configurations are updated in the Splunk memory or not. So for that, what we can do is we can try the indexes.conf command. This will give you index path, storage limits and everything. So for that I need to log into any indexer or search it. Let me take the indexer. Let me log out from the forwarder. Yeah, clear the screen. Yeah, I'm logging into the indexer. Yeah, I'm logging in as a Splunk user, and now I can paste this command. Oh sorry, not this one. So this is something opt Splunk show config indexes. This will show what configurations available in the memory. You see here, okay, it is asking username and password. Yeah, you see, these are all the configurations which for this particular volume, what are all the changes, and for this particular index, what are all the changes. You see 2 IDX for this particular index. These are all the properties which are in the memory. So if you want to know, like, because what we give is only few properties, we give 2 to 3 properties we'll give when we are creating the index, but these are all the properties which are getting applied by default in Splunk memory. So if you want to know what for this particular index what configurations are reflecting, you can use the show config command as well. And what other things we can use it is for authentication. If you want to know for the authentication what all the things is used, you can use this Splunk. Yeah, you see in the authentication.conf, wherever it is there in the Splunk memory, this is what it is there. Don't worry about the file, right? And same goes for server.conf. I will just change it to server. You see, this is what there in the Splunk memory. Irrespective of your file changes, here only if it is reflected here, then only Splunk will consider this one. If it is not reflecting if your property is not reflecting here, then there is no use. So you need to reload or refresh. Yeah, so this is how you check. This is how you reload your configuration. You check whether it is reflecting it or not. So what we have seen here is at the top we have seen a BTool. So this is like at the moment you edit the configuration to check if it is properly precedencing or not. Then we saw how to reload them. Like once you made the changes, how to reload them. After reloading, we all saw how to check if it is reflecting or not. So BTool, reload, show config. So these 3 things we have seen in this video.